Chazz's deck, he mixes up his deck the most out of any character in the series, next to Silvio from Arc 5. But with his, I chose not to use the Chthonian, or however you spell that, except for the traps. But literally there's endless possibilities with this deck of what you want to incorporate. So this is just my variant. He uses up to 3 Armed Dragon level 3s, but I'm just running 2 because I see it as a... It's kind of smoother, and 3, I wouldn't say 3 is cloggy, but I would have to, I didn't incorporate more of the other ones, so 2 went really well for me. 1 level 5, he ran 2 like I said earlier, but I like the 1 because with the 1 I have cards to bring him back like Premature Burial and Call the Haunted, so there wasn't really a need for a second one. I run 7, he also ran 2/7, but like I said earlier. And basically what these guys do are discard to destroy monsters with attack lower. He just targets 1, he does all of them depending on what the monster's attack was. And then you have the big guy, level 10, who just destroys all monsters no matter what it is. He's like the ace of the deck, or like the strongest, like Chazz's ace, but you know, kind of hard to summon. Next we have V Tiger Jet. He ran 1 of each of the VWXYZs, and they just kind of get equipped to each other, but all that such. And you're mainly just going to use them for the contact fusion, which is what I did or tried to. Then you have the best cards in the deck, the Ojama Trio, which if you can get off that Delta Hurricane, do a lot of work. It's 3 of his favorite cards in the deck. He ran a Dark Blade and a Pitch Black Dragon for a fusion summon, which he did. He used Vorse Raider just for power, Mass Dragon to summon the level 3s. He may have used an extra one or knows, but it's alright. Flying Kamakiri for the same reason, so that they can be destroyed and you can summon the Armed Dragon level 3, so that the standby phase they'll be there, and go for the level 5. In the show, he found this well of what he called weak monsters, which he had to prove to his brothers that it's not like the changing point for him. So he found a Copycat, which is... Copycat's a great card, man. I don't know why you'd say it's weak. It's really good. Unhappy Maiden. This is such a fun card. If it's destroyed, you in the battle phase. So, especially back in the day, I thought that's pretty cool. Soul Tiger. 21 defense, man. That's great. And Necromancer to round off our monsters, which this guy comes clutch in late game, which is awesome. Which is... You have so many monsters in grave, so you have like 11 monsters in grave. That's 300 for each. He's already a 3,000 beater. I can already beat Blue Eyes, so that's really cool. So that's the rest of his monsters. I know his spells and traps. A level up to just level up the things. Level modulation to get them back if you couldn't get them back in the graveyard. Oja Magic to discard to add the 3 to hand. Delta Hurricane, that if you have the 3 on the field, then you just destroy every card your opponent controls. Limiter removal to double the attack of your machines. A frontline base to special summon your Union monsters, which were either the Pitch Black Dragon or the VWXYZs. You have Polymerization to fuse. Tribute to Doom just to pop card. Lightning Vortex to just destroy your opponent's Raigeki, basically. Magical Mallet, really good card, helped me in the character duels. Just put cards back in, basically like a reload. Then you have your draw engine, your Graceful Charity, and your Pot of Greed, which this draws 2 cards if you didn't know. He ran a Painful Choice, which did some interesting, it's an interesting card, being able to kind of thin it out your deck. And just choose cards, your opponent chooses 1 and the rest are sent to grave. So if you're not wanting to draw into some cards or wanting to get 1 card, you just kind of have to be lucky with your opponent. Premature Burial to get back cards. The Dark Door, just to stop an onslaught of monster attacks. And the White Veil, which is a recently new card, he used this when the Society of Light corrupted him. Onto the traps. I went a Chthonian Polymer and Blast. The Polymer is super good, especially in the format back then. And, you know, it's the GX era, so Fusion Summoning was the main thing. So just tribute a monster and steal a Fusion monster. So that's always fun to do. And this just destroys a monster and deals some damage to both players. So they're both pretty good traps. An Ojama Trio, just to kind of swarm your opponent's board, and you know, you can combo that with the Armed Dragons to do some damage. Call the Haunted, Ring of Destruction, and the Grave of a Kindling, which is basically just another monster, or another card to bring back from the graveyard. Onto the extra deck. VW Tiger Catapult. It just switches things to attack defense. XYZ Dragon Cannon to pop cards. The big guy, which is both of them combined, it banishes a card. He ran Ojama Knight and the Ojama King. And then finally, he did have a Dark Pitch Black Dragon Knight. And that was my Chazz deck profile. He's honestly he was my top favorite character in GX. Becoming the rival and just kind of having this transition of, you know, only these cards are good, but you discover that all cards are good, all that such. He was funny, humorous, all that such, and I was really glad to be able to make this deck, and I just hope that you all also enjoyed it. And just like, comment, subscribe. I hope you all enjoy the character duel that we do between Chazz and the Aster Phoenix, which is Arthur, and have a great day.